and stuff like that. So that's where we began. So we started, and then as we were working on it, it got a life of its own, so to speak, because we realized there's such a need. There's quite a need for content like this for people to be able to connect with their mothers. It's very helpful for building relationships with our mothers, which in turn helps us, to know ourselves better.
Yeah. Amazing. Yes.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm Shiko.
Shiko, yes.
Yes, Shiko Karobia. I am a homeschooling mom.
Nice.
Well, by training, I'm an accountant.
Okay.
And I worked in the banking industry for maybe like 8 years. But by the time I was getting married, I think I had decided I wanted to stay home and homeschool our sons. I have 5 boys.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, homeschooling our 5 boys. So June has been my friend for a while.
Yes.
We've been friends for years. So when I saw what she was working on, I instantly just felt I wanted something that I could use to connect with my mom, because we've not always been close. So I just thought, if we create something that we can use to interact like with our moms and ask them questions, get to know about them.
Yeah.
Just beyond, you just see your mom as this strong woman who has accomplished XYZ. Yeah. But what's her story? So I wanted to get to know my mom better and even improve our relationship, because we've not always talked. So this has really helped us to bond.
That's incredible. Yeah. And like you guys said, you felt that there was a need. Now, there's this African proverb, and I just feel like it holds so much. No matter how big a child is, he cannot deny that he was once carried on the back of a woman. And I feel like in this day and age, we need to be able to talk about communication, relationships. And someone mentioned that this book is not only going to help you with your mother and your relationship with your mother, but also in relationships. So I want to be able to know who thought about this and how was the process of bringing it together?
Okay. That's a very interesting question. So I'll take you on our journey briefly.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we finally decided to work on this, my mom was very sick. My mom had cancer. She had leukemia. And so when we began, because she's the very first person who said, let's do it in Kenya. I had not a similar book. I had a concept that I was selling on Amazon.
Okay.
But it was not like this. So she's the one who said, let's Kenya-fy
this book.
This book.
Yes.
But at that time, my mom was very sick. So I was like, I don't have bandwidth to work on something like this. But she really pressed. And I felt like it was a very good idea. And so around the time that we were talking about it, my mom passed on. And so it added to the weight, because now I thought I really, really would love an opportunity to capture her story. So it's good. And in talking about it, we are also bringing out the different ways the book can be used. Yeah. So for me, for example, it's a tool to help me through grief. So once my mom passed on, it got a new meaning for me. I started thinking this is going to be a way to immortalize her story and her legacy. So to make sure I look for people who knew about her, the things that I didn't know, put them down and have a story about her. And so that's it. And as I'm going through my personal journey of why this is important to me, she was also going through her personal journey of why this is important to her. So it, like, all that to say, it's been a very personal journey. It's not been, we want to create a book and sell. It's, we want to do this book so that we ourselves can heal. And part of that journey has been realizing that, like she was saying, my mom was strong, but she also had her vulnerabilities. And even where sometimes you think your mom has failed, she could have done this better, you're more empathetic when you think about the circumstances that she came from. So that has been quite a journey at least for me. And
even just what to learn. When I started doing it with my mom, I have learned so much from her.
Yeah.
Things you'd think I'd know, but there's just so much I've learned. I mean, I keep giving this example because of how much it just blows my mind. Just to think even what was that context like, because like her mom was an only child. When you think about that generation, older people, for someone like her to have been an only child, what did that mean for her parents, for the community? What was that story?
Yeah.
And so getting to hear such depth has been very interesting, because when else would I have had that from my mom?
Yeah.
Or even just the discovery or exchanging notes. We went to the same high school. I mean, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
Right? So just comparing notes, communicating in that way, because traditionally we know people sat around fires and talked, and that's how history was passed down.
Yeah.
But now we don't talk that much.
True.
Even when my kids visit my parents, when they go to quote unquote shags. There's internet, there's Netflix.
Yeah.
So people are not talking. People don't talk anymore. So this has really helped us bond.
Yeah.
We no longer have those phone conversations that sort of go for 3 minutes and then that's it. Just mundane conversations. I mean, it's there's depth now.
Yeah.
Our dates don't feel too long. You know, I mean, we have the chance to talk, and it's just been amazing getting to know her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because every woman has a story to tell, and I feel like as a kid, you can be so naive and you don't even think about what your parents are going through. You don't put yourself in their position. So when you guys came with this book, I feel like it has opened so much doors for so much communication and openness to happen. And I feel like you guys also picked very interesting topics. How did you come about the topics? Because you have family tree, your upbringing, education, faith and community, career and business. I want to know now how you guys decided, okay, these are the topics that we are going to cover.
I think it's really chronological when you think about somebody's life. Just the path that they're likely to take. I mean, not everyone takes that path, but when you start with the family tree, where did she begin? Where did her life begin? Her upbringing?
Yeah.
Like you sort of want to paint a picture of the journey she has walked. Or even if it's for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about yourself, your upbringing, then what next? You go to school. What next? You know?
Yeah.
So we tried to frame the questions, because it's just guided questions under those topics. So you try to think of everything you can think of about upbringing.
Yeah.
What could I possibly want to know about my mom? Like, who are her neighbors? What did she experience? What kind of relationship did she have with her siblings? Just really trying to paint all that and record it. So that from beginning to end, you have like a biography.
Yeah. And it's incredible because it's in a format of what I would say a journal.
Yes.
So it's a journal between me and my mother, or between me and a friend. And it's now us getting to know each other in depth, which I feel like is so, so important. And you guys are brilliant for bringing this. I'd want to know how long it took.
Okay, so we started talking about it at the end of 2020.
Okay.
However, like I said, we had those interruptions.
Yeah.
So we were not able to work on it. We began the thorough work, I think, in the middle of 2022. The middle of. However, by that time, it's like we had been like it had been a thought we had. You know, it's not like a new concept. So we had been thinking about it once in a while.
We had a
talk
draft,
about
yeah?
it. We had a draft.
Yeah.
But we didn't begin working on it until mid 2022.
Interesting. And you guys talk about having both your separate journeys and going through a lot of loss, a lot of pain, and this book helped you to heal. Now, I want us to just pause pause that thought and let's not get into it right now. Let's take a music break, and then when we come back, we can talk about that beautiful journey and how it's been, and also inspire other women who are listening out there. This is the Woman Takeover Wednesday show. I'm your host, Sonia Pinto, and this is Radio 254.
To be honest, I never saw you coming. Like a thief in the night, you pulled up without a warning. Never expected to feel this way. Can't help but think it's a game you play. I've learned to not get so easily swayed. Don't give up faith, I know I'm not brave anymore. Leave me, don't understand what kind of hold you have on me. No, I never do these things, but I'm all for risk, and I admit I love a little danger. A familiar stranger, I could get used to our arrangement. Now you feel what I'm saying? If we're on the same page, then we can keep it low-key. Promise not to tell nobody. You'll be the only. Just promise not to leave me lonely. First place the trophy, so it's better you don't know me. So can we keep it low-key? Yeah, can we keep it low-key? How long, how long, how long till one of us wants something more? I say we ride the wave and stay far away from the shore. Don't wanna be grounded, afraid of losing what we have. I'd rather be surrounded, drowning in your loving. Me, I don't understand what kind of hold you have on me. No, I never do these things, but I'm all for it. And I admit I love a little danger. I'm a familiar stranger, I could get used to our arrangement. Do you feel what I'm saying? If we're on the same page, yeah, we can keep it low-key. Promise not to tell nobody. You'll be the only. Just promise not to leave me lonely. First place the trophy, so it's better you don't know me. So can we keep it low-key? Can we keep it low-key? Can we keep it low-key? tried to play it nonchalant, but I'm so affected. Engine not slowing down, just as expected. Baby, keep it coming, send the vibes my direction. Got me swimming through clear streams, I'm never drowning. Keep me afloat and light and bold like sunset clouds, yeah. Like sweet harmonies and sirens that keep calling. Nobody knows I'm mesmerizing, so astounded. It's like the colors go HD when you come by. I get those goosebumps from my neck like every time. And we're moving steady and it's so sublime. So sublime. Your words and me aging like fine wine. And I can't get enough. Can't get enough. Can't get enough. And I can't get enough. Can't get enough. Can't get enough. Got the goosebumps from my neck like every time. I know that you're addicted. I know the shit you got wasn't the shit that you expected. I know you're sitting pretty hoping that you didn't miss it. That all's forgiven, you're really tripping. I know you never will replace me. Losing it before you even taste it. Saying that you keep up with the chase, and I ain't even phased. It's kinda sad that all this went to waste. So we swing high, low, below. Let that heart flow. Just let me go. I know that you affected. We were looking at the goal before you went and wrecked it. I know you lied. I know you're lying, baby. And I'm so tired of pretending that there's something I'm defending, but I don't wanna end it. And now we lose it. You stay folded, but I cooled it. It's a dead thing, but I don't wanna end it, baby. I know you aren't sleeping, keeping posted on posts about me when I'm late night creeping. I didn't mind the deep end. The waves would rock me back and forth and keep me dreaming around your hoes. And nah, she's just my bro. And all these women, this is why we missed it. I leave my phone on silent and tears that left me blind. I know you lied. I know you're lying, baby. And I'm so tired of pretending that there's something I'm defending, but I don't wanna end it. And now we lose it. You stay folded, but I cooled it. It's a dead thing, but I don't wanna end it, baby. So many times
we're back. That is I Know by Maya Amolo, playing right here on the Woman Takeover Wednesday show. And I have two lovely ladies with me in the studio. I have June and Shiku. Now, before the music break, you guys were now gonna tell us how it was when you were healing and also being able to create this. How was that journey and process?
So maybe we'll start with me. So, because Shiku is pointing this way.
Shiku's like, go.
Yeah, like, so let me
Always.
just go.
Yeah.
So,
Especially for you dealing with the loss.
So it's interesting that it has been a relief, like it has not been difficult in the way that I thought it was going to be difficult, because one of the last conversations I had with my mom before she died was about the book. Among the very last one. So we had just printed our first draft of the book. And so I showed it to her. She had gotten to a point where she was not able to speak or move, but she saw the book and she smiled, and I considered that her endorsement. So so she didn't live to see the book come to fruition, the whole project, but at least I feel like she saw it and she thought it was a good idea. And I already know I had a very close relationship with my mom. But going through the book, I'm like, there are so many questions I'd still have wanted to have answers to. And so I'm hoping that this will be a journey of me getting to ask her friends, getting to bond with the people that were close to her, her age mates, and her sister and her friends, just to be able to fill in those gaps. But I also feel like other people will benefit. So even the people who think they know their moms very well, you look at the book, you're like, maybe I don't.
Because the questions are quite diverse. And, like, how was your upbringing? They're also very interesting questions. I haven't been able to go through all of them, but there's so much from the their childhood to going to school to long distance relationships and just everything.
Even some of the questions that or topics we've tackled with my mom, the questions are not even here. But we've talked about like I asked her one time what she thought her relationship was like. I wanted to hear her opinion first before I give my own.
Your own,
because children will always say, this is what I think about my relationship with my parents. But I wanted to hear her opinion. And she said, her answer surprised me. She said she wished we had a closer relationship. So hearing that from her was even like a go ahead to let's do this. And because of that, any question I have, she's so willing and ready to answer. And you ask this question, then it takes you to this place and that place and this place. So it's been quite interesting.
It's been so interesting because you're women that are tackling and dealing with so much, and here you have come up with such a beautiful product. Now, I've seen there are also slots for putting pictures. So it's a whole journal where you can come and literally get to be able to know your mom in and out.
Creating memoirs. It's amazing.
I want to know why you chose to go with this direction. It's very interactive, it's very personal, because somebody would just come up with a book on how to and just give you guidelines, but this is very personal. Like, I will definitely go with this and sit down with my mom and be able to learn so much that I did not know. So I want to be able to ask, who thought about this brilliant idea? Please. And why was this the direction that you guys decided to take it?
I think it's just, you've alluded to it. I mean, everybody has a unique story. And I mean, how-to books have been done. There are a dime a dozen, improving relationships. Those have been done. But one of the things, and I think June and I have spoken about this a lot, one of the ways in which, even among friends, that people can get to know each other
True.
is asking questions.
That is so true, because
Yeah.
we don't ask questions.
don't ask questions.
Yeah.
Just catch up.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
catch up. By the way, this is what happened to me.
Points.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
don't sit down and ask. And in
Actually,
fact, that's
yeah.
part of why we want it to be interactive, because we don't just want you to know about your mother.
Yeah.
We want you to be closer to your mother.
Yes.
Yes.
And the process of asking a question. So, for example, and I'll give her example because obviously I haven't had a chance to do it with mine.
Yeah.
But like so we had a book launch and it was quite a nice event.
It was amazing. I
Yeah.
saw videos. It happened on the 3rd of December.
Yeah.
Yes.
And oh wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. So one of the activities we had was she got to sit down with her mom
Yes.
and have a conversation. And it was so funny because, I mean, we're talking about some deep questions in the book, but
Yeah.
some are just fun.
Yes.
Like, so like the question about, tell me about the day I was born.
Born,
From when
yes.
you woke up.
Yeah.
to
What
how-
happened?
You know, and many people don't know what time were you born. Was it raining?
By
Yeah.
the
Was
way.
there, you know,
Yeah.
so just interesting stories like those. And I also wanted to add that part of listening to your mom is honoring her. Mothers are very excited to talk about their stories,
Yeah.
talk about their children,
Yes.
and many times we don't have time to
Yeah,
listen.
that is
'Cause
so
when you're
true.
doing this book, what you're saying is, I want to hear your version of you tell your own story, which then means I'm giving you my time.
Yeah.
You know, and we encourage you. So we're not saying, if the question is like, one question I like is, when you were young, what could 100 bob get you? Yeah. So, but we
Yeah.
are not saying give us a list.
Yeah.
It's tell us.
Tell
No,
us.
Tell
Yeah.
us. Talk to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
What was that 100 bob shopping? And I will tell you, most mothers that we have talked to who are older are very excited to have that conversation.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
even need to nudge them on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know people who've said, older women who've said their house rent was 7 shillings.
Wow.
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 I mean, that's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, the other inspiration for us is, if I wanted to know anything about my grandmother,
Yeah.
you know, I'd ask my parents, but there's not much they can tell us.
True.
But I try to imagine if I had a book like this about my grandma, and that means even my children can get to know about her.
Her. Yeah.
You know, so hopefully we are starting a trend
Yes.
where we can write our own stories. And document them. And so, like we're saying, the kind of book that June had done initially was just a fun book, a light questions.
Yeah.
So even just this creation, we can't even pinpoint. I can't say who.
It's a both of us.
Yeah,
thing.
you've asked that question, but it really was the two of us. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to be able to know, because you're both now interacting with the young generation
Yeah.
and the old generation. How has this been?
Good question.
Yeah. So like with my mom, it's really straightforward.
Yeah.
So I said I have 5 sons.
Incredible. Especially the fact that they're just boys, you know.
Yeah. So there's a story. So I don't know. I can tell the story, I guess.
Yeah, please.
So I've been married 7 years. We're doing 7 years.
Are you
Wow,
sure?
congratulations.
Yeah,
She's like, are you sure?
I know. Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
7 years. this
7
year.
years. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So our 3 older sons. So when I got married to my husband, he was widowed.
Okay.
And he had the three older ones.
The 3 older ones. Okay.
And then I have 2. And my first is 5.
Okay.
And then there's 3.
Okay.
So one of the things I've been trying to do is write my own story. Even as I talk with my mom on one end, I'm also trying to write my own story.
Yeah.
But also the other thing I've been trying to do, and I hope they're listening.
I hope you're listening,
my older
boys.
boys. Been trying to encourage them to try and get to know about their mom. Right?
Yeah.
Because their grandmother is still there.
Yeah.
And they have aunties who can fill in the gaps and they can get to write or get as much information as they can about their mom. So maybe one of the things I realized I started to do, because it's very difficult to just write to journal,
True.
and the book itself is is interactive.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do it with my husband. I've been telling him to ask me the questions.
Okay.
And I recently told June
Yeah.
to also start asking me some of the questions. So even friends can do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Because I'd like to write my own story. If my sons, as we do life, hopefully I'll get to tell them much more and talk.
Yes.
But for now, they're still very young. So I'm gonna do it with my friend or my husband or whoever.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's not just limited to. Initially, we thought it's just
For
mom
the
and
mothers
children.
and
But it can be anybody.
Yes.
Anyone can ask you those questions and you document them.
Yeah.
I've also realized it's not that difficult to do even with younger children, like my teenage boys. Any question they can ask me here, I can answer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just that what I've noticed is that our experiences are very similar.
Similar. Okay.
Yeah, it's different when it's an older person because the experiences are very different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the younger generation, our stories are pretty much the same.
The
And
same.
we've all lived with internet. I mean, we saw internet coming,
Yeah.
but yeah, compared to older generation, there's a bit of you can tell there's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This book
Yeah.
has so much weight that it carries because apart from learning, you're forgiving,
Yeah.
you are healing,
Oh yes.
you are growing.
100%.
I want to be able to know, as you, the authors, can we talk about some of those milestones for you personally? Yeah.
I think we always have this look.
Like who's going first?
Yeah, we always have.
I
this,
like
you
it.
Take that one. You take that one.
Which one?
So I think this one is mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I mean I think I've mentioned this. A big thing for me has been improving the relationship with my mom. And even just that conversation of what was her hope, because I'm her only daughter. I mean, I have brothers.
Okay.
I think her desire would have been that we'd be like BFFs, but that was not the case. And what's funny is that when I asked her about some of this, there's a question in the book about what are some sad memories from your childhood.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes.
Because we need to talk about everything.
Yes.
The whole
Yeah.
360.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is interesting is that she desired a better relationship with her own mother.
Ah.
And she said all the things that she found sad was that her mom worked far from where she lived.
She lived, okay.
So my grandmother traveled far to go and work. So they never really got to bond.
Yeah.
And so it's as though the same thing repeated with us. She worked a lot initially when I was born. And then I even remember a lot of times being with my dad because she worked a lot. I think back then, working in the banking industry, she worked long hours. We never got to bond. By the time she was retiring, I was moving out of home. And so that's our relationship had a gap. So now the healing process has been me trying to understand her. And it's interesting that the more I get to know her, the more I'm like, yes, I am your daughter. Because it's so strange. We're very alike.
Yeah.
And I used to think, I'm not like my mom.
You know?
There's no way I'm like my mother.
Yeah.
But we're very similar. And just me understanding the journey she has walked.
Yeah.
Some of the decisions that she had to make, just me hearing from her has really helped heal our relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like there are a lot of people who need to heal from their relationships with their parents, relationships with their spouses, relationships with your friends. And you guys don't know what you've done with this book. I am just loving what you guys are giving us because it's very important. And the more we have these conversations, then the more we'll have these open seminars where people can be able to talk and be able to help one another and grow. So it's just incredible. Are you guys gonna have a series of this? Are we thinking now my remarkable friend or my remarkable relationship? You know, because it's an amazing interactive book. Like literally, guys, you are journaling. You are writing down, okay, mom, let's sit down. Let us talk. You know, let me get to know you for you, and you can also get to know me.
Yeah.
You know, because we don't want a situation where it's too late, you know, and you're like, oh, I didn't have that relationship, you know, and it's not only with your mom, but with the people who are around you. So back to my question, are we having a series? Let's first talk about that.
So before I answer that, there's something you've touched on that I think is so crucial.
Yeah.
That what we're trying to do is break down some of these barriers between a lot of us grew up with parents who, you know, you don't apologize. Parents don't apologize to children.
Yeah.
So you walk around with wounds and you have no outlet.
True.
So for many parents, I've gotten feedback from people where parents are like, first they're hesitant, you know, because they feel like you want to judge me.
Yeah.
Why you asking me
You're
all these questions?
like this.
Yeah,
Why?
why you asking me
Yeah.
why? So, but so it helps. In fact, the book cushions you because then the questions are not coming directly from you because sometimes some of these relationships are sensitive.
True.
You know, so if you grew up without a father, for example, and you're going to ask where is dad, what happened with that? You know, it's easier when it's coming from a book. The language in the book is already very sensitive. We are trying to be very respectful. Because this is a book to honor mothers, not to tear them down, not to, you know, to honor them. So the language has already been crafted such that it will hopefully help that relationship instead of tearing it down.
Yes.
So to answer your question, for sure, we want to have a series.
Please.
For sure, because everywhere we go, people are asking about the dad book.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've gotten
Yes.
so much feedback about that.
Yeah.
And I would say, the only reason I think we began with a mom book is because we are women, first of all.
Yeah,
So we
I agree.
understand our own pain.
Yeah.
But we are also women who have fathers and have brothers and siblings. So
True.
the next step is going to be, in fact, we are launching it very soon.
Okay.
There are dates coming up soon. So
Oh,
please
wow.
follow us.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'd want to know, what's your favorite part of the book or segment or chapter?
Good question.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, I think it's good to mention that we dedicated this book to John's mom.
Okay.
Yes.
So every time I look at that, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Something.
weird. It's something.
There's something.
It's something. We dedicated the book to her.
She was a very good friend of my mom's.
Okay,
Actually, she
okay.
spent. How do I say it? I feel like that's so special. Her my mom died in her birthday month. Is it in her birthday month?
Yeah.
Oh,
And she
yeah.
spent her birthday
Oh.
with my mom the
Oh,
whole
wow.
day. So I found that very special. Yeah.
That
Anyway,
is
so yeah.
Yes.
So there's that dedication.
Yeah.
But also, it's so strange. It's not even one of the chapters.
Yeah.
Well, there is, but there's a section here that that goes, "Dear Mom," at the beginning of the book. "Dear Mom, thank you for," and there's space to write.
Yeah.
"I will never forget the way you," there's space to write. "I have never told you this, but I am sorry for. I pray for you that." That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking
Incredible.
time writing it for my mom
Yeah.
because I feel like I really want to get it right. I haven't written yet
Yet.
because we're still working on the book.
Okay.
And I feel like the more we work on it, the more I'll have the words to write that section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
For me, obviously the dedication.
Yeah.
I really struggled. She really pushed me to have the dedication there, and now I'm so glad I did.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think I'd have the strength to do it. But the other section I absolutely love is the historical environment section.
Okay, yeah,
Oh
the
my
historical
goodness.
environment.
Yes, I love hearing stories of older people talking about the coup.
Yes.
Where were you during the
Right.
coup? And they get so excited.
Yeah.
Talking about money in those days.
Yeah.
Talking about just different things, careers in those days. People really looked up to people who are going to the office and making your 1,000 bob, and that's like you're really boiling.
And paying school fees for all your siblings.
Yes. So I
Wow.
love the way they light up. The older people light up when they're they're
when
going through
there's
that
this section.
Yeah.
So it's even written, when an old man dies, a library is buried with him. Use this section to pass on the wealth of history and culture that has been eroded over time. Discuss vernacular foods, resources, medicinal plants, and how different illnesses were cured, education, etc. This is incredible. Take time to pass on as much information as possible to keep our history and culture alive. This is key.
Yeah.
Let this be a movement. I love it. Now, I'm in the what to expect page, and I really love the letters to my children. Tell us about this.
I mean, the hope is that any mom or any person doing this, they're able to just take time.
Yeah.
I feel like if I started writing letters to I don't even know.
Because this is incredible. I'd love a letter from my mom,
Yeah. I would want to tell them so many things.
Yeah.
But really, that's the point, because you want to pass this down.
Yeah.
The hope is that if my mom wrote this to me, my kids one day would be able to read what their grandmother said to me, and it's passed down.
And that is so important. And it's so sentimental, because this will live on for generations, and it will tell.
I really want my mom to write something to me that will outlive me. Outlive my children.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to know who decided to do the word search puzzle.
June, 100%.
I was 100% so excited about getting to do the puzzles.
Yeah, and these are Kenyan word search puzzles, guys. Not just any puzzles, but Kenyan. So how and why?
I absolutely, because I wanted to include something light, and you'll notice that some of the sections are quite heavy.
Yeah.
So the thought process was, can we, and what we tell people is you don't have to begin from the beginning to the end. You know your relationship with your mom. You know what's easy, you know what's difficult.
True.
So balance it out for yourselves, right? So we wanted to include an activity that is like a commercial break. So let's have a little bit of fun.
Let's have fun, guys. Not that serious.
And I feel like these are also people. We also were trying to honor people, to honor our history. So when we talk about people like Wangari Maathai, Wamboyo Teno, Nyiva Mwendwa, women who have also contributed to our history. And people who have, so it was also like a hats off to all these people who, from back in the day, and brands, brands, people, TV shows, Tahamaki. I don't even know whether kids would know what
like Renegade,
Zorro, and all that. So it was that, just to try and make it more entertaining. I mean, we understand that it's a serious book, but we are also, we are diverse. We are an entire person has so many facets to them.
True.
So,
True. You guys, this book is brilliant. I am so honored to have you guys here, because I believe that what you're doing is very, very important. Now, where can we purchase this book? Are there any physical outlets? How much is it? And it is Mother's Day coming up.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Definitely from us. Then there's African Lifestyle Hub. They are at Sarit and Village Market.
All right.
You can get from there. So the book retails at 2,500.
Okay.
Then there's Nuria online. There's Rafu Books as well.
Yeah. Incredible.
So Rafu, Nuria, Africa Lifestyle Hub at Sarit, and Village Market, and definitely from us.
Incredible.
Just DM us.
We can also
DM.
purchase online.
Yes,
Okay.
from
So
us.
I have been getting a lot of questions. Where can I buy? Where can I purchase? So I'm definitely gonna be able to leave a link and just tell people to please check it out. So you guys have your second series that is coming out soon.
Yes.
Yeah. Are we getting a date or timeline to expect?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes.
But really
very
we're working
soon.
on it.
Yeah.
So on it.
Yeah. Incredible. Now, I want to be able to ask you two lovely ladies the last question, because I don't know where time has gone.
I know. It's been so much fun.
It has. I want to be able to know, as women in this society, what do you want to be remembered for individually?
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have an answer? Because I feel like I need a minute.
A minute.
To process.
I feel like this
No
is something
worries.
I've been thinking about. So I'm sure as I get wiser, my answer will probably evolve. But I feel like I'd want to be remembered for really, as cliche as it sounds, never giving up.
Oh, I
Being
like that.
completely resilient, no matter what. Finding ways to adapt to difficulty and just rising above. Yeah,
I like that. I like that.
And I think for me, it's, if I touched, again, cliche, just one person's life, like I changed your life or I had an impact on your life.
Yeah.
I think for me that's massive. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for gracing us with your presence. It was amazing just being able to talk to you about this beautiful and amazing and much needed book. History is just, and I love it's like his story, but like it's his story.
Yeah, so it's a double play on
It's
that.
a double play on the word history and the phrase his story. And I just, it's incredible what you guys are doing. And I don't know if you have any last words, also your social media handles, so that people can be able to follow and just keep up with his story. Yeah.
So his story yetu. So it's HII story.
Yes.
That's it. His story yetu. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok,
and YouTube.
Yes.
That's
Everything
where our
is his
complete
story.
book launch is on YouTube.
Everything is his story yetu.
Yes.
And then what else to say? Take time to bond with the people around you.
Yeah.
Whether it's your friends, like listen, pay attention. We're living in an age where we think we're connected because of just the internet, WhatsApp, Instagram, all these things. We think we're connected because we like,
we share,
we
comment,
take photos, like,
yes.
you know? But listen, bond. Don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we've been here. I'm surprised at how fast the time has moved.
Right? I'm like,
that's
on.
how every day it feels like that image that movies create. You see a sunset and then it's morning.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today. Time just seems to just
go
flow.
That is true.
So take time.
Yeah.
For me, that's what I'd say. And bond and listen and don't be surface. Just delve in it.
Yeah. Yes.
And for me, I think at the risk of sounding too grim as we end,
Yes.
I mean, the people that are close to you, the people that mean a lot to you, they may not be here for, I don't know, for 200 years.
Yeah.
So they for sure will not be here for that long. So try and be intentional. So to add on what she's saying, be intentional. And this is why the questions are very it's important to have a guided process. Don't think it will just be organic.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is, sometimes
it's not. Yeah.
So be intentional about asking, asking how your day is, how are you doing, and asking the details of their lives.
Yeah.
Because I feel like slowly people draw into themselves because you realize nobody's paying attention.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, my background is in mental health, and there's a lot of suicide happening, a lot of depression happening, and a lot of it is because people don't know. And we say, if you're feeling low, then talk to me, as a way to address that problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's wrong. Let's just talk before it gets there. Let's just talk before, because at the point where I'm feeling so low that I don't want to talk, it's difficult to draw me out then. So let's build those relationships when we are, whether we're okay or not. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. I just feel like I'm in a room filled with so much wisdom coming from two lovely ladies. And I just want to say thank you again from the listeners and from me for this incredible book. I cannot wait for the next one. My Remarkable Dad by June and Chico. Thank you so much. This book is incredible. My Remarkable Mom, I will definitely be able to leave a link so that you can be able to go and just order, or you can go and just be able to look for it. And it is retailing at 2,500 shillings. So please make sure that you go and subscribe. It is worth every shilling, guys. So please make sure that you go and get it. I will definitely leave a link. I am still here till 10 p.m. I'm gonna take a short music break, and we shall be back, and we shall just be able to close this show. I want to say thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Continue doing and being inspirations out there, and you are really breaking boundaries and barriers just by having us talk. And it's just as simple as that. So I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
This
you.
is
Thank
the
you.
Woman Takeover Wednesday show. Make sure that you do not go anywhere. This is Wild Trip by Chemutai Sage playing right here.
Got that okay, feeling all day. Easy in the sunshine, yes, I'm making my hay. Laying sideways, my babe. Body gonna glisten when it hits the sun rays. Oh, photo moto, we about to get loco. Oh, see your noto, skin brown chocolate, the like cocoa, so smooth, yeah. It all down like water, water, and all falls you down.